To the Wine O'Clock Show. Cheers. It's 5 o'clock. It is Friday. It is wine o'clock time.
Cheers, girls.
Champagne o'clock.
It
You
is
have
champagne.
to look into each other's eyes.
Oh,
Otherwise
yes,
it's bad luck.
Oh, is it?
Remember?
Right,
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't realise that.
7 years bad luck with sex.
Well, if you cheers and don't look into each other.
Yeah, and I need to. Yeah, I really need to hurry up on that one.
I didn't realise that.
Well, apparently,
Right.
but don't quote me on that.
Okay. Ash Pollard, welcome to the show. My Kitchen Rules contestant, semi-finalist, and Dancing with the Stars
Yes.
grand finalist.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tell us, what have you been doing since Dancing with the Stars?
Since Dancing with the Stars, I actually worked for Channel 7 for a bit, doing some presenting throughout the race carnival, spring racing. I also hosted New Year's for them too, which was so much fun. That was kind of my foray into everything. Yeah. And now I'm working for Yahoo 7B, producing really fun, light-hearted cooking videos that pretty much anyone can do. Yeah. And I'm doing those by myself, like 30-minute meals, and also I have some of my celebrity friends as guests coming on. Yep. And then there's going to be a little etiquette series that's going to be unleashed shortly.
And
because I'm all over etiquette.
Yeah. Well, that's why we've got the verve today, because, you know, we knew it.
Oh, thanks, Joel. Yeah.
Since leaving My Kitchen Rules, have you continued on with your culinary delights and, you know, entertaining and, you know, because we saw it, I guess it's all editing, but we did see the villain of Ash come out in My Kitchen Rules, but it's totally not who you are.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Look, you know, I guess we can all be a diva at some point, and when you've been filming for a long day and the camera is on you the whole entire day, I guess my expressions got the better of me. And post MKR, I have definitely pursued my culinary adventures or journey, the J word, because I love it, and that's my job essentially. That's what I get paid to do. But I get paid to do things that I love, which is so cool. But it's just like, I don't know, in any career you need to practice what you preach, and you've got to practice what you do, otherwise you ain't going to make money from that. No. So, you know, there's only so many spaghetti bologneses I can cook before people get sick of it.
Well, I love spaghetti bolognese. I have to try it one time.
Yes, of course.
Do you do a really good one?
Yeah, I do, because I make my own pasta, but I'm actually pretty good at a ricotta gnocchi.
Sounds good.
I make it for all my Tinder dates.
Genine Howard, welcome back to the show. You were on here a few weeks ago, and everyone just loved you, and by popular demand, you are back this week.
God, I feel special.
I only placed you with the best, Ash. I only placed you with the best.
Thanks. No, very excited to be back. Thank you. And with Ash, so good to be sitting next to you.
Thank you.
We'll have to smash out some dance moves together later. You can teach us some stuff.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. I just have to jump in here for a moment. Now, I did also go on Dancing with the Stars.
When?
Yeah.
I should have done my research.
It was about...
You don't know? You haven't heard?
I haven't heard.
I never watched the show.
No, it was Dancing with the Local Stars.
Oh my God, gorgeous. You guys, you put me right on the spot. I was going to blush for a minute.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, I did win, just so you know.
Did you win that?
Yeah.
I didn't realise you'd won.
What do you mean Dancing with a Local, like in your suburb?
Like a copy of what you guys do, but in a little local area. Yeah,
And
it's for a
you
charity
won.
event. Yeah, won.
Girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
That's so cool.
But it was so hard, so I'm sure that your journey would have been so full on, and we'll talk more about that, I'm sure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, girls, let's kick off the show.
Earlier this year, Bank of Melbourne was a sponsor for the Melbourne City Mission's Sleep at the G event, which shines a light on homelessness here in Victoria. But this week, the bank has sparked outrage after it posted a sign in its window suggesting homelessness people were inconsiderate. More than 20,000 Victorians are experiencing homelessness tonight, with 33% of those on the streets because of family violence and mental and physical health issues. Let's see what the girls have to say about this.
This is really weird, isn't it? It's a bizarre one because, okay, so you could say that it's not that person's fault that they're homeless.
As a result.
But then on the other hand, you never know what they did to become homeless. But it doesn't really matter. The fact is that this person, I mean, I don't know how to word this to not sound like awful, but I just feel like definitely the bank should not have said that. I guess they could have just approached that individual, whether they did or not, we don't know, but they just could have approached the individual. Perhaps do you need some help? Can we help you? Can we move you somewhere else?
Yep.
Rather than just write such an insincere note. Like, how daft. Of course that's going to look bad for your brand, your company.
I wonder who wrote the note, though. So,
yeah, I guess it could have been a trainer. You know.
Could have been the trainee, could have been, is it the bank manager? Did they get clearance from head office? That kind of thing. So I think in that kind of corporate environment, there can be an element of, in the local branch, perhaps they're running their own show there.
And perhaps, yeah.
I will say, though, this is really quite outrageous because, as you just said, I really think there could have been so many different approaches that they did, and they really never thought this through. Because, we could go into homelessness and how awful it is. And Melbourne at the moment is becoming like this homeless mecca.
Yeah, it's
I think I read over 20,000 people are homeless on the streets in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And, that could be because of family violence, mental and physical, health issues. But it's, considering that a Bank of Melbourne, any bank, CBA, NAB, make billions of dollars a year in profit, surely they should be looking at ways of helping them. If the Bank of Melbourne are going to get behind something like homelessness, why not do something more about it?
Absolutely. Get down to grass levels.
Yep.
This is someone who is literally at the forefront.
A person just like us.
Yeah.
We don't even know, we don't know what's happened to that individual.
Yeah.
Honestly, we don't know what's going to happen to us tomorrow.
No.
We dead set could be homeless. And for someone to just do that, I mean, it's appalling. It's just appalling.
It's treating a person like a completely
an object,
insignificant
like it's not even,
object. And thinking about homelessness too, one of the fastest growing age rates of people who are homeless is women over 59.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Isn't that
goodness.
absolutely incredible? So when we think of homelessness, we think of, perhaps a drug addict or someone with mental illness, we stereotype. But really,
of course,
someone who is homeless could literally be someone that we know, has... did have a house and a career and a family and all of this, and now has found themselves in circumstances. So I think, going back to this with a bank, it's like, it's really showing their true colours. That sometimes there's a lip service that they're, sprouting that we'll look after the homelessness, and then when it comes to the crunch, you're really not doing what you've said that you're going to do.
Of course, we don't really know what's gone on behind the scenes, but I guess we can't really assume that this is the bank as a whole.
Oh, no.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
This is just one branch that's done this that unfortunately has made the entire company look bad as a result.
Scandal, drugs, health and safety concerns and safety issues. It's all that anyone is talking about in the lead up to the 2016 Rio Games. With attacks on our Olympians, drug scandals, unsafe living conditions and now a toxic stew that runs through the bay, it begs me to ask, did the IOC actually look into Rio before it announced it to host our 2016 Olympic Games?
Ladies, Rio Games is only a week away, and we've had, instead of focusing on, I guess, our athletes and their achievements and winning gold, we're focusing on safety, drugs, scandal,
and pooey water.
Oh,
it's true though.
Control, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely vile. But you'd think that the committee and the Australian government as a whole would nip this in the bud before any of our athletes went over there. They'd make an executive decision. Do we send them over there? Do we get stuck into the government over there for not, holding their side of the bargain?
Because I would imagine there would have to be criteria. Like, my question was, the IOC, how could they not look into Rio and safety and whether, they had the ability to make sure that the athletes that are going there are going to be, health-wise safe, safety and all that sort of stuff. Why didn't they look into it a bit more deep and go, I really don't think Rio is the place to send athletes?
Well, surely in the submission that they did, 4 years ago, they would have actually had to do some criterion checks, like, has either things gone so bad over the last 4 years, that perhaps 4 years ago everything was all shiny, it's going to be fantastic, and we don't have pooey water, and has it gone downhill, or did they gloss over this? I think I believe that you're right, that the Australian government needs to just jump in and, you know what, how about we go, hey, why don't we as Australia go, you know what, instead of having those particular events there, those events can come over to Australia.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey?
Yeah, but then do we have the appropriate facilities for that? Can we facilitate those?
Quite possibly better than Rio, I'm sure.
I dare say. I mean, I remember the school that I went to back when I was a kid. We could hold some of the stuff there. Was that good?
Yeah.
But I think no. I'm just saying, like, we do.
Yeah.
We actually do.
Right now we're sitting in Melbourne, which is one of the sporting capitals of the world. We've had the Olympics in Australia before, so, theoretically we've got the facilities.
Well, Sydney,
1 week
Melbourne.
to go. Do you think we can organise something?
Oh, let's
At the end of the day, like, weigh this up. Would you prefer to go over to Rio as an Olympian and try your hand at winning a medal if you haven't before, or just sort of take the safe approach? Because that's it, you don't know what disease you're going to come back with. You could end up sick for years, so you won't be able to pursue your
further
your career.
Yeah.
Like, what do you...
But again, even the safety aspect, I mean, before, like, 4 weeks or 5 weeks ago, the Paralympians were over there, and those two ladies were riding, and they got mugged or attacked on the beach, and then it's
They can't fend for themselves.
No, and then, even yesterday, I think there was a New Zealander that was pulled into a police car by the police and forced to pay money. It was all over the news, I think yesterday and today.
So corrupt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like, we're sending our people. We're sending people into the firing line.
Yeah.
But we're not sending people into the firing line. These people don't have to go.
They have a choice.
They have a choice. It's not like our Olympic Committee and our government are saying you have to go over there and support Australia or else. These people are like, I'll go. But they do have a choice. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, they're like, if I don't go, this is my moment to shine.
Yeah.
If I don't go, what's going to happen?
Yeah, and I think that's the hard part about it. If you're an Olympian, you've been doing this most of your life. You're training every single day.
Oh my God, it'd be absolutely...
The dreams of it, and if you're missing out on this year, for many people it's their last chance ever, or it's their first time. So I think that a lot of athletes are going to put themselves into harm's way just for that, to go for those medals, or for the experience. Would I? You know what? I probably would.
Yeah, I probably would as well. If you think about your time on dancing in the
with the
local stars.
I mean, that was hard, wasn't it?
I was in harm's way.
I mean, it
every
was
day.
gruelling.
Like, there was, kicks of my shins and all of that. And it's just myself.
It's just a gruelling process, If you amplify that by a bazillion, that's what these people are going through to get to wherever they're going in terms of being an Olympian. So, would you give that up?
Yeah. Look,
for a bit of pooey water?
I don't think I'd be swimming in. If I was a marathon swimmer, or
I would not. No,
I would not be going in that water.
No.
If I can't see the bottom, I won't be going in.
I don't know.
No.
Just
I think I probably would.
Really? Even
honestly,
though it's
What? You
toxic?
swim in that? That's foul.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what's in people's things.
But not even that, like, there's rubbish floating down the river. I think, was there a big red sleeping bag with God knows what inside of it floating down the bay?
Yeah.
That they're supposed to
Isn't
be...
there like a massive high rate of crime there? There could be like dead bodies in that
Yeah.
thing. Oh, God.
Look, surely though that the Rio government's going to do something. Surely
Really?
they'll
Well,
change
wouldn't they have done that
venue
before?
or- I don't know. Surely you'd think that they would, but there's so much worldwide publicity about this now. So,
Well, no one's going to go to Rio. I'd go just for the carnival and that's it.
Yeah.
It seems like every day we wake up to the news of a violent attack or terrorist attack on our TVs and social media streams. Last week, Sonia Kruger expressed her concern and her safety for our country and our people and was raked over the coals for it. With the mass shooting in Orlando killing 54 people, being mowed down by trucks through the streets of Paris, embassy bombings in Tanzania and Kenya, the Boston Marathon bombings, and the list goes on and on. It begs the question, are we being too soft on ISIS?
Since, I think, back in the early 80s, there's been terrorist attacks relating back to ISIS, and from pretty much every month from then on, there's been some sort of attack, whether it be, you know, the Orlando shootings, Bali bombing, Boston Marathon bombing, you know, the World Trade Center, everything. Do you think we've, and then I think just recently, a priest, I think this week, had his head cut off.
Oh, what?
In Paris, in France, and that was ISIS.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Okay, no, that's not funny.
That's not funny.
But like the fact that we
Paris
didn't
thing,
know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah.
They've had the Nice thing that's happened last week with the truck that's gone through the crowd. Are we too soft on ISIS?
I've got a really strong opinion on this.
Yep. All right, you can start then. I'll weigh in.
Yeah. All right. I believe that don't give it fire. Do not.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
So, as in, don't talk about it anymore. Turn the segment off. No.
Right, done.
We're not talking. But do you know what I mean? In terms of the media, we have a responsibility to the community, and as media, we can fuel the fire. Now, what a lot of terrorism activity is about is having
The attention.
energy around the attention of it, and to fearmonger. So the more that we talk about it, the more we talk about, you know, I've said on last shows a couple of weeks ago that I don't watch the news. And I make a conscious choice not to watch the news. And the reason for that is I don't allow negativity to come into my life. It's not that I'm being ignorant. It's not that I'm just being closed-minded. I didn't know about the priest thing in Paris, though. But, you know,
No, don't.
I usually find out some way. But it's because I don't allow that to come into my world, because what then happens is you start thinking about, oh my God, what's going to happen to my children? Oh my God. And then, let's just, you know, set up camp in the lounge room and put our pajamas on and not leave the house.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it can become. So I really believe, like, just don't fuel the fire. Don't give it energy and don't fight back.
But when this might be a heavy statement, but in terms of you saying that you don't watch news and you know you don't want to be frightened, is that to do with education? Because you know if we think about it, I mean, you said it before when we weren't on air. You could not go to Nice, but you could actually get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
You just don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and where it's going to happen. In life, we're here to live and we're here to take risks. We can be careful, but even being careful is just not really living, is it? Mm-hmm. And, you know, we don't know. Somebody could be planning an attack here now. We just don't know. I guess we're lucky that our government is extremely, you know, they're onto it. They've got their finger on the pulse and whatnot. But then you have, you know, the states where they've got those ridiculous gun laws and whatever.
Yeah.
And it is frightening. It is very scary. My parents are going over to Europe, and I'm frightened. I don't want them to go. But then I'm like, my dad said to me, Ash, the bus thing. He said the bus thing. I could get hit by a bus. We don't even know. Like, how would we know? I'm like, just don't mix in crowds. Don't do this. Don't do that. But I guess. I always to and fro about this because I feel like I definitely, like you, don't watch enough news. I'm not I'm not sort of, I don't want to buy into it because I don't want to fuel the fire.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare myself, and I just don't, I almost don't want to believe it. Because I just think, what is wrong with these people?
Everything in life comes down to two things. You either come from a place of love or you come from a place of fear. And when you feel yourself that you have been wrong, done wrong by, ostracised, etc., that then, and if you're coming from fear, that fuels hatred. And that's where I believe a lot of people started from. You know, they felt
then they get
hard done by
brainwashed,
someone.
don't they?
Yeah, and absolutely. And then because that's how they're feeling, anger is a very strong emotion, and they start taking over, and you know, it's very much coming from fear. In their minds, they're doing what they believe is the right thing. So then you've got other people on the other side of the world going, well, that's not the right thing. So it's this perception of each person. And I think that's why there's such opposing views. And I always believe, don't fuel the fear. So don't feed into it by making outrageous statements on television.
Poor Sonia.
Sonia, poor Sonia. You know, big.
But
big
I think that's Sonia. I totally understood because, you know, every day we turn on the TV and we see something. And I think she's just reacted out of fear. Fear for herself, fear for her children, fear for the country, fear for the Australian people. And that was
I reckon she's just being human.
Yeah,
whether or
absolutely.
not she's acting out of fear or whatever, she's just being human. It's like, unfortunately, the camera happened to be on her at that time. She could have just been at lunch with her girls and said that, it wouldn't have been what has transpired would not have transpired had she been in that situation. I mean, you know, being in the limelight now, oh my God, even this, you know, I would hate to say something that would get me in the shit, and therefore, you know, tumbleweed starts happening, and then you're
being
busted.
Twitter trolled, and
I can understand from both sides what Sonia said and the reaction that has happened. I don't think she should be
ostracised,
and you know, I don't think she should have got in as much trouble as she has.
No, and I think the issue here is that because that is a comment that would be great around, you know, the lunch table with your girlfriends. So why put her in a position to ask her that question?
No, but then she didn't have to say that.
Yeah, and as we were saying earlier today, I think she would have said it out loud. You know how, like, when you're pressured, like, I think Lisa asked the question, her journalistic, you know,
of course,
instinct kicked in and like, oh, hang on, let's ask her the question.
Let's see if she goes there.
And, you know, would have come out of Sonia's mouth out of fear, but then inside her head she would have gone, why did I say that?
But Sonia's not a journalist, is she?
No, and
she's a television personality.
Why put her in that position when she's actually meant to be in a light-hearted, you know, more of a lifestyle kind of program, and then putting her and David and asking those sort of questions? I actually look at the producers of today's show and go, what were you doing thinking that these were appropriate questions to have these people who are not experts in that area answer? And I do...
Because I think on that, I mean, you're asking us these questions. We aren't experts. Oh, God, I'm far from an expert. I hardly watch the news like you, babe, seriously. But, you know, I think what they're looking for is just a general consensus for people like us, because Sonia and David are not journalists. Correct me if I'm wrong, they're not journalists,
No.
But
So David's a singer.
Yeah.
Precisely. So they are
bloody great one.
they're formerly entertainers.
Yes.
Sonia was a dancer. He is still a singer.
Yep.
So, like us, you know, they don't have that mentality, but they speak for people like us who aren't journalists. And I still think that what the question that Lisa posed was not out of line.
No, it's not out of line.
But I just think if you're Sonia, think about it before you say it. If you
do you think she felt pressured because, you know, she obviously got the camera on her?
Well, sweetie, if you're going to do that job, you need to know that there's pressure involved.
Yeah. Do you know? And again, it comes back to media training. You know.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. You know, there's a big thing to be said about being trained for the media and knowing what to say and how to say it. And you know, in that instance, again, what that comment did was fueled the fire.
Yep.
So there's all of these, you know, thousands of people in Australia at their homes going, yeah, I totally agree with Sonia, absolutely. Fear, 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 let's all fear for our lives, let's not let Muslims in. You know, that just breeds hatred. And that's really dangerous.
Terrible,
So I just think, going back to basics, you know, someone like the Today Show needs to think a little bit more with their producers, need to think a little bit more before they allow those kind of conversations, knowing that it could go pear-shaped, you know, because look at the wrath of what's happened now to Sonia Kruger herself, beautiful woman. She doesn't deserve to have all of this trolling. Like, she came from genuine heart and fear for her own family and fear for Australia, you know, but in terms of, like, putting that out on air, that's just caused a whole ripple effect.
Do you think that her opinion on stopping Muslims entering this country is right?
God, no.
I mean, that's not going to... No.
It's ridiculous.
I honestly
it's
don't
immoral.
think... Yeah.
And it's, like, completely insane. You can't actually do that. And, you know, to say to people just because of your religion that you can't come in. No, it's just utterly ridiculous. It's a very ignorant comment.
Okay. So Ash and Genine, before we kick off on our last segment of the day, which is Never Have I Ever.
Yes! I love that.
We have got some viewer questions for you, Ash. This week we posted on social media, Ask Ash.
Okay, oh God.
So we have got a couple of questions. They're not too bad. They're pretty tame. Debbie Goddery wants to know, what's your favourite dessert wine?
Debs! I don't like dessert wine. Do you know why?
Yeah.
I just think it's too sweet. Like, I'm not a fan of a sweet with sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's just because my palate hasn't habituated to things like that. Like, it's just not accustomed. I never really liked wine until probably 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, just alcohol in general, I should say. So maybe it's something that I'll work up to.
Yep.
Let you know, Dal.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Tracy Mathers, she says, did you listen to all the comments from the show, from My Kitchen Rules, and would you change what you did or said?
People ask me this all the time. Yes, I listened to all of the comments because that's why Camilla and I made it practically until the very end, because if we didn't, we would have been eliminated. So yes, we listened and we built on what we had already displayed. And what was the next question?
What did she say?
Would I regret what I said?
Change what you said or did?
No.
No.
Absolutely not, because I have no regrets in life. I just don't think that's a great way to live. You know, I think that one of my greatest and my worst qualities is honesty. And I think my facial expressions are, you know, overly honest, and that's what was polarising during my time on MKR.
Yes.
But I was never cruel. That's the difference that people don't understand, is that I was never cruel, I was just honest.
Yeah, true. Good answer. Samantha Lee, can you ask her if she brushes her hair dry? She said, I know it sounds weird, but from one curly gal to another, these insights are crucial.
Well, we were just talking about your hair. You know, it would go quite big if you brushed it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to brush that thing dry. Oh my God. It'll look like you've stuck
like a
your finger in
Pomeranian.
a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Like off charts. No. I'm very lucky in that my mum is a hairdresser.
Oh.
So from a very early age, you know, she's taught me how to do it. So I will only ever brush my hair in the shower with a wide tooth comb when it has conditioner in it.
Yep.
And then when I get out of the shower, I will just sort of go like that in a towel.
Yep.
And then I'll spray in conditioner, and then I'll put in like a curl thing, not mousse, because that's so 80s.
I used to have a spiral perm. Mousse was
Oh, classic! Yeah. Now, and then I'll dry it with a diffuser. So like those big things where
Yes,
the curls
okay.
just sit in there. Because if you dry it normally, it'll just go poof,
Yep.
and you look like a Pomeranian. You don't want to do that.
Because there was a photo that came out where you straightened your hair.
Yes.
And it totally changed your whole face.
Yeah, and I've done that a couple of times, and my friends freak out because they're like, that's not you. That, you know, you just look like this boring soccer mum, but you've got this psycho personality. It doesn't match. Like, it's just really weird. But I guess I've learnt to live with it, because my mum always said to me, when I was bullied a lot as a kid about my hair, because I am the only one in my family with curly hair.
Oh, wow.
Bizarrely, yeah. Like, you've got straight hair. Well, yeah.
Today I have.
But, and you as well. Today you do.
I was just saying to Ash off camera, my hair actually is curly like Ash's.
Yeah, and I never
straighten
see it like that.
No.
Yeah, mine's not as curly, so mine's a bit frizzy.
Well, my mum and my sister have dead straight hair.
Wow.
Absolutely dead straight.
Does the milkman have curly hair?
Well, that's what I've always been questioning, you know. I don't know. Yeah, but I guess the bullying sort of made me stronger for it, and Mum always said anybody that ever pays you out about your hair is just jealous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if they're not, I just keep that in my head. You're just jealous.
Yeah.
Sucked in.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Jane Sinnott wants to know, how hard was Dancing with the Stars? Did you have any experience that helped?
Oh, Jane, I can't even tell you, Dal. Like, it was... Oh, it's harder than Next Door Neighbour, you'll think.
Local dancing.
I only
with the
did
Stars.
one dance. That was it. God, that was so hard. It would have been...
Just to put it into
Physically
perspective,
full on.
it's like I didn't work during the day. I danced 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday when we were in the studio just marking out where we had to be, those days were 12 to 14 hours.
Wow.
So I got ripped. Like I was
no wonder they all
shredded.
slimmed down. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, I had a box gap. Do you even know what that is?
I totally know what that is. And I don't have one.
I don't have it anymore. I'm so sad.
I so want one.
Yeah, oh, damn it. I wish I could have been on Dancing with Stars again this year because I would have kept it. But it was really hard. And often people say, was it harder than MKR? I kind of think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I guess I had the support of Camilla, who was my cooking partner. But I was dancing with a professional who already knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but it was very rewarding, very rewarding. And my favourite dances were like all the Latin stuff because ballroom's really rigid and hard.
Yeah.
It's like you
very
have to
difficult,
conform, whereas in Latin you sort of don't.
Because you had a dance background to start going into that show too.
When I was a kid, so you know how you send your kids to dancing school and whatever. That's basically me.
Right,
and then
yeah.
I finished that in like year 10.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I would say that I've got rhythm, and I just feel it. You know, I love it. I love it.
Hence why we love the Latin
That's what
stuff.
helped me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
The another question is, you need to finish these sentences.
Oh.
Most people don't know that I.
Bite my nails.
Do you? Give us a look.
But hold on, this is SNS, okay? So if I don't have SNS on, I will absolutely bite them
Right
off.
down. Really?
Yep. Anxiety, babe. Creative people do it.
I don't.
It's gross. It's a dirty habit. It's gross.
My hidden talent is.
Oh, singing.
Hey!
Yeah. I'm not going to.
Are we going to see you like on The Voice or? What
Do
is
you know
it
what I
called?
really want to do? I want to do like carols in the domain. I want to.
That'd be great. You
Put
could
it
be
out
up there with Anthony Clear.
Oh shit! I mean,
Yeah.
Shivers. Like he's good. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm more like Amy Winehouse. No, I'm not. I'm so not.
I want to hear. Awesome.
No.
Have a little sing together.
Have a sing
No,
along.
no.
When I grew up, I wanted to be.
An actress.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then I realised that most people were poor for the rest of their life, so unless they hit it big time in Hollywood, you're going to be a barista for the rest of your life? No thanks.
Or a cameraman.
Poor Ro.
Leave him. They can make lots of money.
They can.
Our Rowan's not just a cameraman; he's an actor.
Is he?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's been on Wentworth.
Bro.
What else have you been on?
Bit of
Ro?
Offspring.
Offspring?
Neighbours.
What's the show you did yesterday?
Please
Like Me.
It's not about me. It's about
Stop it.
So okay, last one. What hashtag best describes you?
Sass.
Ooh, like that one.
Hashtag sass.
Ladies, thank you so much for
you.
joining me on the show today. Cheers.
Cheers, girls.
Look in the eyes, look in the eyes, eyes.
Don't look around the eyes,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
into the eyes. Cheers. It was really, really lovely. I could go on for hours.
Oh, so could we. Except I don't think our cameraman will last that long.
Well, we've got more champagne.
We do.
Well, we can still sit here and drink it then, can't we?
Thanks for watching this week's episode of The Wine O'Clock Show, and a big thank you to Ash Pollard and Genine Howard for joining me on the couch today. Be sure to jump on and like The Wine O'Clock Show's Facebook page, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All that's left to do now is have a great weekend and a fabulous week ahead.